Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU and welcome back to my Unfallen tutorial slash playthrough. I have an announcement to make. Our timelines have converged in almost the same space-time continuum. Now we almost are in the same reality in fact, because I'm recording this video a day after I have published the previous one. Which is good, since I can now respond to all of your comments, and also thank you, seriously thank you for all of your positive feedback and basically the support that you have given to this series. This really means a lot to me and I'm very thankful for that, alright? Now the bad thing is that this video is going to come out late, because I'm recording it later than I should have been, and I wasn't able to record this video yesterday or any other videos days before that because I was actually really sick. Which was unfortunate, which made me really grateful that I recorded so many videos in one sitting, otherwise you would be starved from content. So it's not that bad. So yeah, I'm actually happy I did pre-record a lot of things. In fact, I'll keep talking, but let's have a fight. I know I could retrofit those ships to absolutely wreck the enemy, but I want to have something to watch. And if I were to retrofit my ships, the enemy would die in like a second. So let's just fight with my regular ships and not change anything, just fight as I keep talking. So, right now in fact I'm also feeling quite bad, to be entirely honest with you. It's not fraud related, so I can record with, to some extent. I have to be more chill though, because I'm just not in the best shape, and you can probably hear that by the fact that I'm not as super excited as I usually am. Although I am still very excited, I just cannot make it obvious when it comes to my voice. Now, anyway, this game has received a patch that was actually a very substantial and big patch, which fixed a lot of the issues this game had on release, which is great. It was a really nice patch. It also changed a few things that are important for us. For example, now as the Unfallen, I can use the spaceports, which is pretty nice. Also, the thing that happened to us in the last video, which made us actually win the game as an alliance, is no longer doable, as in, I mean, it is doable, but now it's been balanced, so now it's much harder to win a conquest victory as an alliance, because previously it was a little bit ridiculous. You would probably agree with me on that one. That was a nice explosion. I like this battle, it was really cute. Anyway, if a battle can be cute, of course. Anyway, there are also some balance changes, but they don't really concern us for the most part, because we'll see that in a moment. Is that Truce? Yes, that's a forced truce. I'll talk about it in a moment. Anyway, as for the balance changes, they don't really affect us or the Lumerics, although I think the Lumerics have been indirectly slightly buffed, but I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about this. For the most part, the faction that was most impacted by the balance changes are the Cravers, because they are now much more powerful as a faction, because they don't deplete their planets as fast, as quickly. The thing is, those Cravers probably already ate all of their planets up, so it's not gonna be something that we'll be able to see in this particular video. Some other factions were also modified. For example, Riftbone got a tiny nerf that also will not be present in here, because the ships, colonization ships, are now more expensive. And who else got changed? Oh yeah, Vodiani got also slightly buffed, but again, it was only a slight buff, nothing too important, nothing that I should spend too much time talking about. Now, before I continue on with everything that is happening, I'm gonna murder some I can't, right. 4 strips, I forgot. Anyway, so before we continue, I need to say one more thing, and I hope you forgive me for stalling, but I have actually made a poll, online poll on Straw Poll, in which I ask you which faction I should play as in my next series. I'll post the link down in the comments, and probably, if I don't forget, in the description of this video as well. Please visit it, please vote for it, I would really love to know your thoughts on this. I was personally thinking about Cravers, since they're more complex than most other factions. They are really fun to play as well, and I have never covered them. But I know that a lot of my viewers would like to see Riftbone, which I would also be okay with, or Vodiani. Vodiani I'm less excited about covering, because I already did cover them in a very outdated guide, sure, and they do need revisiting as well. I agree with that, no problems, no questions asked. The thing is, at least they have some sort of coverage, nevertheless, right? And factions like Cravers of Riftbone have none. So if you vote heavily in favor of Vodiani, I'll cover Vodiani anyway, but I just want you to vote. I want to know what my community thinks is most important to cover. Now, let's talk about this video and things we're gonna do. First of all, there is a forced truce that was, well, to be expected. The Vodiani, those are Lumeris, dear sir. the Lumières decided that it's time to go ahead and enforce a truce so that they're not being put into extinction by me, which was, to be fair, entirely predictable. And if anything, I was slightly shocked they didn't do so beforehand, but beforehand I haven't actually inflicted enough damage on them, and only now I have actually taken over their systems, 2 of their systems, which were also quite big systems, mind you. So yeah, they decided that, well, not really decided they were able to just enforce truce. That's fine though, because as you may be aware or not be aware, you can actually deny that forced truce, and it's actually fairly easy to do so. All you have to do is go ahead and declare war again. It does cost a fair bit of influence, but look at how much I have. There's nothing else I would do with this influence, so I don't care about the forced truce. How am I a suspicious individual? I, if anything, should be very honest. Also, this declaration just tanked my frame rate by a lot. Holy balls. Okay, now it's back. No, now it's down again. Okay, I guess AI really had to think hard about what just happened and how I was able to do that. And dear AI, I have a lot of influence. You should have expected something of the sort. Anyway, let's murder a meaningless ship. We're not gonna watch that. There's absolutely no reason to. Now, with that out of the picture, we can now continue our invasion of the Lumières. Now, how do I want to proceed? If not for the fact that we, technically speaking, have already won the game, how would I want to win the game? There are 2 ways I can easily do this. One is by achieving a scientific victory. All I need to do that is grab all the endless technologies, and aside from the one in science tree, which is still need to gain access to, I should be able to unlock all of them and get them very, very quickly, actually. I might do that, but I'm not gonna focus on that too hard. There's also another option, just to expand, of course, yes, or another option, again, is to just make wonders, or basically all space-time. I have a very good stock of resources, with the exception of orichalcics. So if I were going for basically all space-time, and I'll tell you why, in my opinion, this is a very good objective to go for as the Unfallen, then in order to do that, I will need to grab orichalcics somewhere, and I know already, because I've checked this before recording this video, that Imex has orichalcics, so I'm gonna try and grab that. Now I can, of course, praise those guys to infinity, and I will, because, I mean, look at how much influence I have. Aye, okay, now, that was good enough. I lost almost all of my influence, doesn't matter, not really, I'll not get them in a single attempt. Did I need to do that? No, because now I can't assimilate them anyway, because they're actually too far away from my Vine network. If I were to assimilate them, it'll just wipe them out. But when I want to, I'll be able to assimilate them instantly, which is going to be nice. Now, another thing is... what was the other thing? I already talked about Wonder Victory, I talked about the Scientific Victory as well. Yes, alright, that reminded me. So, how can I make it extremely easy for us to grab either the objects of space-time and make it very easy in many systems, or to just grab a really quick scientific victory as well, or make a ton of spaceships for any kind of military-related victory? It's very simple. You go for chlorophyll chemistry, which is something that I would have rushed if not for the fact that, well, things are going well, way too well for me, so that's why I haven't really showcased this option before, or even talked about how it's good to rush it. I now realize that yes, I should have mentioned this nevertheless, and my bad, I didn't think about it, but either way, this is actually extraordinarily important, because having your food switched into actual industry as the Unfallen is huge. Let's have a quick look at the economy scan and look at how much food we're producing. Now, it might seem like not a whole lot, because, okay, that's a bug. Well, you would be right, but still, imagine that all of this food that we are producing anyway, which is being wasted, since we're not gonna use that food anyway, there's nothing we can do, all our plants are full. So all of this food could be turned into science. How? Well, it's very simple, by doing this. Plant cracker factory / lab would convert our industry to science. Of course, it would not be a very ideal conversion rate, but still, it would be nice nevertheless. So that's something that to be considered. Also, if you want to make it even better, you can also go for urgent AI research, which would make it even more powerful and make you achieve the scientific victory extraordinarily easy, which is a build that, yes, you can consider. Another thing, of course, that we would need for that is dimension of folding, which again increases your science by 40%. That's ridiculously good. I always go for this improvement if I can, and if I'm trying to care about science at all. Another thing that you might be surprised by is that, well, sure, there is where on earth did it go? There we go. The Genius of the Endless, which is nice, I like it, and grabbing it as quickly as possible is also very good, because because of the reduced cost and technologies. But it's already far away from me, so if I, in my position, wanted to grab scientific victory, I would probably rush Power of the Endless instead, because it does increase your FTSE by a ton. FTSE does include science, and it also includes industry, which you can turn into science, and it includes food, which you can also turn into science. So yeah, we're probably gonna go for that, in fact, because of how useful this upgrade is. Another thing I'm gonna do is actually make more fleets. Because looking at my government... Oh wow, actually, never mind, it looks like militaries are getting ahead. Ooh, next section in 3 turns as well. I haven't not noticed that. So that's my mistake. And also we're now researching quantum communications. That's gonna boost military support even further. So I need to boost the pacifist support somewhat, I think, if I have the ability to do so. And I don't think I do, I'll be entirely honest with you. I did just grab a bunch of militarist upgrades. So for now, for the next 3 turns, I'll not make any ships, make any military improvements, or research any more military technologies, although I will let this one finish because it's just so important and so nice in both aspects, really. And I have declared war, right? This might make it possible for the pacifists to win. Either way, we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to retrofit those ships and I'm going to set them over at Jirin, however it's called, and prepare to actually take over the system. Because yeah, why not? In fact, can I take it over instantly? I probably could. So let's try it. We'll see how well it goes. Let's go ahead and go for guerrilla tactics, because this preserves our tanks the most, and see how well it goes. So, minor victory with a lot of the enemy troops destroyed and some tanks as well. Well, we only lost 4 tanks and destroyed the interplanetary transport network. That's okay. This will lower the ability for the enemy to reinforce, and it's also something that I can remake very, very easily and for cheaps once I actually do take over the system. So that's nice. That's acceptable. Now I could also send in my second fleet over to Lahat in order to gain access to Emacs, which I would love to do. The only issue with that is there's an enemy fleet going into Shaddai, and I do want to stop them, so let's go ahead and do that. Also, I cannot afford this thing to retrofit this entire fleet, so I'll just retrofit the carrier because it would look awesome. That was almost all my antimatter spent as well, which is kind of sad, but oh well. I suppose some things are unavailable. Who's going to win as the third place winner in the election? Scientist? Yeah. Alright, that's good. That's very good in fact, because I do need to have as much of that anti-matter gathering as possible. Let's go ahead and end the turn. Also, I could, I suppose, make a Vine ship and send it to NGC 205. This is actually would be kind of nice, because I'm not sure if... Sorry for that. If by capturing Lahat I'll actually gain Vine access to Emacs. I might not. I think I will, but I might not. So it's important to just make sure I'm on the safe side. Also, this lag spike was really strange, but whatever. Also, additionally, something that's important is that by gaining access to NGC, and that's something I didn't talk about, because people were asking, hey, why as the Unfallen you take over those special nodes like black holes or supernovas, collapsing stars, or in this case asteroid fields? What system does it impact? Well, I'll tell you this, says, or not says, womanize says, I don't know how to... Ladies, that's it, ladies. Well, anyway, it impacts our home system, which right now you cannot really see, but actually you should be able to see that. Where is the black hole? Yeah, there we go. I mean, every extra specializing node that you add to your Vine network is going to influence your home system, which is why your home system is probably the most important system in your entire empire, as well as the most powerful system in your entire empire, which is something that you should probably keep in mind. Now, of course, extra 50 industry to our home system means almost nothing by now, but it's still nice to get that. So I'll take that into account and definitely remember that for the future. Now, let's redesign the Vine ship while I remember to do so, because I think I can... actually, I cannot make it any faster than it already is. That's a bummer. I can give it some shielding. I don't believe I need to do that, but with my industry, there's no reason not to. And if the enemy, some random enemy tries to kill it, it will be able to defend itself. So I suppose it's not the worst idea ever to give it some extra modules. So I'm gonna do just that, thank you very much. Now let's have a look at all of those notifications. We're gonna use guerrilla tactics for invasion, like we did last time. Major victory. The enemy keeps losing stuff. Oh, and they even lost Imperialist bunkers. That will not actually hurt them a lot, because I already killed a lot of their, what you call it, military. like troops on the planet, but still that's nice. That would be nice if I wouldn't be able to conquer this planet. I will be able to conquer it though, so it's not that meaningful, but still nice nevertheless, I suppose, just because I like destroying things. I now have access to Voidstone. Ooh, that's nice. That's how much of it? 1.5 per 10, but it does increase my industry production. So, because I now do actually have access to it, I wonder where, though. How do I have access to Voidstone? I need to check that real quick, alright? Because knowing this will actually help me a ton. Yeah, wait, how do I... Where am I making Voidstone from? Oh, it's because Imex are allied with me. Alright, but I will take over this system in the future. So, with that in mind, I'm going to design my third level modernization in systems. Because I was waiting for some rare resource to be available to me that is not related to approval, because I'm gonna be maxed out on approval regardless at all times. Actually, I'm not maxed out right now. It's kind of surprising, but that's also partially due to the fact that I'm conquering a lot of systems, so not really a big thing. So, I am, however, going to focus on industry for the most part. So I'm going to use Dreadonics again, as well as the Voidstone, and that should be pretty good in my opinion. I don't really care about super spats because I have not gone for the, whatchamacallem. Have I not gone? Yeah, I have not gone for trading companies, so I'm not gonna need that. Even though I have a ton of it, but there isn't really... I don't really want to research trading companies just because I have access to super spats. That would be a waste. Anyway, let's go ahead and approve the change, and now this is going to make my system super productive. Again, very, very scary for my enemies. I entwine something that has a lot of numbers in it. And a bunch of things happen that are not really all that important. Those people are friendly to us, as we know. And with the elections approaching, I can now gain extra influence on Empire, like it matters. Or I can reduce the cheat costs during the elections. Now, I don't care about this influence bonus whatsoever, but the thing is, I am a democracy. I don't cheat during elections, I cannot even do that, and there is a chance my people will discover me, so arrest spies is the only logical thing you can do in this position as a democracy. So there is that then. Alright, ERAS is now part of my Vine network. I can now connect Care, but first of all I'll upgrade this ship so that it cannot be destroyed by some random Vodiani ships or whatever, and then I'll go ahead and go to Care. Actually, I could spend a ton of influence to take it over instantly as well. I mean, I will start working on that, I suppose, because there's no reason not to, and some more influence as well. A bit more, and a bit more, just so that they can instantly just so that I can instantly increase my relationship with them, because why not? Pilot the shoots would be pretty damn against those guys, so I guess diplomatic immunity, because this ship is unarmed. So let's see how well it goes. Will it be able to survive this fight? It's mostly no, it was not. Oh well, let's see how well it did though, because I'm kind of curious how well my weapons were able to stand up to the challenge. And it looks like, well, evaded, damage received. It's not telling me how much I absorbed. It looks like I have not absorbed anything, actually. Which is strange, because this ship was retrofitted, and it should have been able to absorb some damage. Strange. Whatever. I'm not entirely... I don't know how this happened, but it's not like it was surprising in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, a new planet, which is actually also Orichalcix, which, I mean... Wait, Orichalcix. No, Quadrinix. I keep misnaming the two, but that doesn't matter too much. And it's also a pretty good system from what I can see. I mean, I'm guessing because it has Tor on it. And Tor is usually a pretty nice system to colonize. So yeah, I'm going to try and grab it ASAP, because it will help my empire tremendously. Now, as for you, dear lightship, I'm going to retrofit you and send you over to Care to make sure that it is being guarded and that there are no pirates over there. Taste needs something to do, so you just say can have fabrication licenses. Although, do you really care about that? I don't think you do. I think all you care about is having some more science, because why not? I don't necessarily need to make anything else in my empire at this point in time. Of course, I could spam ships and go full on militarist route, but I am getting a ton of fitzy from right thing rule, and I wanted to keep it that way. Also, oh nice, alright, so the amount of... I forgot that the amount of influence I pumped into those manufacturers also influenced the elections, so now pacifists should win quite easily, which is nice. It also means that we can actually go ahead and focus on our military a bit more again, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. So Flash, dear Flash, you are going to go for the quantum damping. Actually, this is my most productive system, sure, but the problem with it is that it's also my most popular system, so I'm probably gonna use Bite instead. So Bite is gonna go for quantum dumping circuits, and it's going to make me... It cannot actually make me my mothership, or rather my carrier, because I don't have the resources for it, because I spent all my antimatter, which is kind of sad actually. I should not have spent it all, but... And then again, I don't think it matters too much. Let's go ahead and make it just a light ship, since I'm gonna need that regardless. And we have time, but it's actually slightly slow at making those ships, more so than I expected. Anyway, let's have a fight against the enemy. I do wonder, I couldn't find anything mentioning it in the patch notes before, but I do wonder if the enemy is now more likely to stay in the fight than the enemy was in the past. But no, never mind, they're still running away like they always did, the cowards. Pathetic, really. Oh well, I'm gonna wait for those invaders to be targetable so I can get rid of those guys. And meanwhile, Julian is going to continue being targeted by me as I drink some of my tea. Alright, then. As I said, I do apologize for being less hyped than I usually am. I mean, you know me, I'm hyped almost all the times. I just really love Endless Space 2, but I just also really don't feel very well right now. Also, this lag spike is really strange. I'll have to restart my PC before I record another video. Although, to be entirely honest, I doubt I'll be able to record another video after this one because I'm not feeling that well. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go for Blitz action now because I think... Actually, no, I can go for Gorilla. And what happened? I went down to 2 FPS. I don't know what's that about. Still, anyway, I'm actually gonna keep using Gorilla because I've got this battle in the bag and I don't think the enemy can stand up to me. So let's just go ahead and see how it went, and this is a victory, and the system is now mine, which is very, very nice indeed. Now, there are enemies running away from the system, I think, but there's also a fleet that I can murder, but it'll probably run away. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, because they just did run away from a similar fleet, except the fleet they ran away from was actually weaker. So, yeah, there we go, they ran away again. They lost a brig, which doesn't really matter. And the frigates got heavily damaged, but it's not that important. And as for the elections, well, all of those results are satisfactory by me. I like all of that. Which I have seen. And also, how are you still in the system? You did just retreat. Why have you not retreated? I don't get that. Anyway, our lightship is about to fight the enemy. Shall we watch this? I wonder. I think we shall, for the very simple reason that this lightship is now retrofitted, so it's gonna fire some pretty cool lasers at the enemy. Also, isn't that actually close range ship? Nah, it's medium range, so I'm satisfied with the thing I went for. We will skip to action, however, because there's no point in staying too long in the fight, or rather on the screen. And actually, oh, it's a lightship, right? It doesn't have all the cool new toys, really. It just has more stuff, so it's not gonna be a very enjoyable thing to watch necessarily. It is kind of cool, though, I have to say, more so than I expected. So I'm gonna drink some tea as we watch the carnage. Also, the enemy, oh wow, I'll be entirely honest with you, I have not noticed the big shuttle version with the giant gun installed on top of it. It looks kind of cool. Also, hang on a second, it also has so serious Star Wars vibe, at least that's what I think. Anyway, this battle is kind of meaningless, so let's go ahead and end it, because there are things we need to do before we move on. So, Julian is now mine, 100%. It has a bunch of guardians that I could discover if I had some kind of a scout ship over the system. I don't, however, so that is not an option. Anyway, what kind of improvements does this system have? Not a lot, in fact, barely anything whatsoever. It does have things that help my dust output and also boost my pacifist liking, so that's good. And the system for the most part looks like supports the ideologies that I personally like, so that's good again. There's nothing I really need to do over here. I can just change things to geoindustrial plants when needed. I can gain more Hyperium and Titanium because I am actually using a ton of Hyperium right now. So let's go ahead and do that. And after this is done, I'm going to make sure that this place has a bit more science, because I do like some science, some drone networks because that's super important, and then I'm just gonna go for things that improve the approval, otherwise this place will be mad at me for a very long time. Can I go for anything that supports the pacifists? No, but I don't think I really need to. I'm just gonna go ahead and make microwave pipes, and that's good. Also, I just remembered, now, in all the systems that are able to do so, I can actually go for the super biofuel factory, which I definitely will wherever possible. In fact, to make it a little bit quicker, let's go ahead and change it in this screen. So you just say you can go for biofuel factory, nice and easy. Any other system that requires it? Yes, there are systems like that indeed. Also, what's that? Skin? Skin, you can go for the same thing, I believe, because I'm not really using it for anything else. But firstly, though, microwave pipes, because microwave pipes are awesome. Whoa, wasn't that the science thingy? I believe it was. Let's have a quick look at it, though, because yeah, that was definitely that. It's the science place. Now I can change this planet into forest planets. Would I want to do that? No, because those are my science hubs. So I'm not gonna do anything of the like. I am, however, gonna give you Slack and Slash Center, obviously. And then give you even more science, because this place is great for that. And then convert all of my not needed fuel. Although, actually, now that I think about it, I don't need this upgrade yet, because this place does need to grow some more population, so I'll wait. How many Lumeris do I have in my empire? Do I have the full bonus for them? Yes, I do, that's nice, alright. How about Zvali and Amoeba? Can I get them to be maxed out? Probably not. But I can try. So now, since I can actually move my population around, I'm going to try and move it. So, first of all, where do I have the Julian and the Tower? Actually, Towers is closest to the other system nearby. And it does have a bunch of Zvali that I can move. So, let's go ahead and move 2 Zvali over to the wall. Whoa, there we go. So that they can reproduce and hopefully outproduce the Unfallen that I have over there. Also, another system that I just recently got, which is not full. I don't think SLS has place for much. Indeed it doesn't. I can send my amoeba over there, but I would rather send more things over to the wall, while it still has some place on it. So I'm gonna send in just one single amoeba, I think, from here, because I don't want too many amoeba to die out. And I'm going to send it to the wall as well, trying to get some extra bonuses for collecting those extra minor factions. Because it is actually pretty important. Also, amoeba support the pacifists, which is very, very important, as you might imagine. Alright, we're just gonna wreck those shadows, because they have no chance against me. And I believe this is it. Oh no, this is certainly not it, because I need to queue up some more research, so I'm gonna do that right now. And we are going to go for the power of the endless, because this is going to increase our general fit suppression by a bazillion everywhere. It is also going to take us 7 tests to grab that technology, but I still think it is entirely worth it. So I am actually gonna go for that ASAP. Now, as for Bite, you're doing a great job, dear sir, but you do need to have the biofuel factory, because that will just make you so much better. Also, Taste is also lacking biofuel factory. I'm not sure how I missed that, but oh well, I will not miss that again. And with that said, I can now go ahead and murder this one lonely ship which is just waiting for the murdering to happen, which is fine by me. Go ahead and finish, if you can, please. Anytime now. Alright, cool, thanks. And I'm gonna... Oh, I cannot actually retrofit the fire ships, which is sad because they look really cool when the fire in with their new technologies unlocked. So I'm just gonna go ahead and send this fleet over there. And as we're doing all of that, I think I'm gonna have Spycam make a single vine ship as well, just to send it to this empty system over to the north of the place. North, like over here. Also, what about places that produce antimatter? Those places definitely need to have the expanded mines. Because, in fact, I'm gonna buy them out ASAP, because I'm actually struggling to get enough antimatter to get my empire going, so I'm definitely gonna need that. But it looks like the only 2 systems that actually do give me antimatter already will have installed. So, yeah, for the time being, I did pretty much everything I can this time. I'm just gonna guard the system, because there's no reason not to, actually. Every is being taken over, which is going to be very, very nice, and I believe this is everything I could do. Again, keep in mind, I cannot take over Emacs, because if I do... I mean, right now, in fact, I cannot even do that, because it's not connected to this network of vines. And in fact, remember how at the start of the series we had the problem where this system, I was surprised that I cannot take it over, even though I should have been able to? Yeah, I am now certain that it's simply because some things will change just before release, by which I mean in the version I was playing when I originally started to play through. Or a version before that, the version in which I was practicing, it was possible to take over allied systems as long as they were next to your vine network. And now it might be that it is required for you to actually have vines extended to the minor faction's territory. We'll see that though. We'll see how much that is true though once we take over Care, so that's good to know. Those guys want truce in return for manpower. I don't need manpower, so you need to work a bit harder. You're distressed though. Oh, oh, that's cute. I will give them a counter offer. So I don't want the manpower, I do want something else from you. What kind of technologies do you have that you could give me that would be fun? I don't really need technologies, but maybe you have something that I care about? I don't think you do, really. Having access to luxury resources section of the marketplace could be nice, I suppose. But again, not something I really care about all that much. Improved fleet management? Nah. Not really, no. So how about just some really cool stuff that you could otherwise... Oh, maybe systems. Can you give me systems though? No, because they're not within my Vine network, so they wouldn't be able to really truly give me systems. So how about you give me Voidstone? All of it. Because otherwise I'm not gonna sign this treaty. If you do agree, however, then I will. So, please, just go ahead and... You don't want that. How about you just give me 20 of it and call it a day? That would be acceptable, don't you think? Yes? No? Maybe? Can you think for... Alright, yeah, I'll accept the truce in that case. I think this will be fine. It will also let our allies chill a little bit, because Horatio... Actually, Horatio didn't really have to deal with... Actually, Horatio did have to deal with the Vodiani, so... Since that is the case, I think that Horatio will be quite happy for this truce signing. Did it actually happen? I did not get a notification for that. I guess they're still thinking. AI has a lot of things to think about, it turns out. Huh, oh well, whatever. Anyway, we've got another minor event, or new quest, or however you want to call it. I can either get... Ice Cream can get a bunch of stuff with increased militarist ideology, but there is also a chance for major political crisis, which is interesting. Or Ice Cream can lose that influence, or rather industry, which I don't really care about, because Ice Cream doesn't really do anything of the sort. And I can increase the pacifist political ideology, which I do want. So let's go ahead and dismantle, thank you very much. Now, next. Udise, Mere the miners, Udise, Mere... Oh wait, those are miners attacking me. And they have mixed weapons. Ooh, that's nice! Finally, I see AI using mixed weapons. That's really cool. Well, let's see how well I can do with... Let's see... Diplomatic immunity. Will that let my ship survive? Probably not, but I'm just kind of curious. Indeed, it was not able to survive. I'm not entirely distressed, but still, that's good to know. I suppose that my fine ship died. It's kind of sad though, because Eri was important for me to keep. Oh well, I suppose I'll just make sure that I can grab it again later at some point. For now, however, let's go ahead and finish the movement of all my ships. Grab Black Hat as quickly as possible, because hey, why not? Guerrilla tactics for the win, as I used them in the past. Let's grab a new Vine ship, major victory of course, send it to NGC because I can, and make another Vine ship in Taurus because I might as well. It shouldn't take too much to make this guy. Where on earth is it? There we go. 2 tens, alright, I'll wait that amount, it's fine. Now, Kara. Shall I praise you a bit more? Sure, why not? Let's praise you even more so that I can get them faster. It's not like I'm in a hurry, really, I'm just trying to be a bit more optimal. Now, WoW can have a bunch of things implemented, so I can give it the extended mines. I don't really care about Paladin. Wait, Paladin? Yeah, Adamantian. Almost the same thing, really. But I can give you Body Language Institute and a bunch of other stuff, so I ain't gonna do just that. Alright, where are my minor faction ships? Alright, one is about to reach the wall. Where are my Amoeba at, though? I'm wondering, how quickly can they get over to that system? I don't see them anywhere. It looks like they haven't left Julian at all. Which is a bit sad, but maybe I just missed them. Anyway, we are gonna watch this fight if the enemy does want to fight, because I do have really cool weapons installed and I would love to see them in action before we end this video, but I am kind of worried that the enemy will endlessly retreat. And yes, that's exactly what they're doing. They know they're gonna lose this war, so they're kind of in a panic mode right now. It is understandable, it's just a bit of a shame, if I may say so myself. Anyway, I think we are done with everything we needed to do. But yeah, of course, that is never the case. Mute needs something, so Mute can go for the extra mines, because I'm pretty sure I have not made those yet, and I don't really need the extra quadrinks. I still haven't found a use for it yet, but having it is nice. At the very least, I'll be able to make all of my wonder or obelisks very quickly, assuming I get Orichalcus, of course. Alright, next system that needs something is Spica. Spica is, alright, the system that I was so keen on taking in the early game, but was not able to really do that. So, sorry for that. What can Spica give to me? I mean, I suppose even more influence, not like I care really, but there's no reason not to get it. I can also get more Hyperium, which is again, there's no reason not to get extra Hyperium when you can get it. And I'm gonna end this turn as well, drink some more tea, hope for a fight in which I can showcase my new ships, and I don't think I need to vote for pacifists. They should win regardless, so I'm gonna vote for scientists instead, just to make sure that they get ahead in case something weird happens with industrialists. So let's go ahead and vote and see how it goes. Oh. In fact, we're not gonna wait for this whole thing to go through because it's not gonna actually take too long. So we can wait, we can see what happens. I'm actually really happy I voted for Sanders because it looks like otherwise the ecologists would have pulled ahead. They still might, and it's actually kind of close to just, but now never mind. Sanders finally got it in the end, and it looks like our government is gonna stay exactly the same way it did before, which I'm very happy about. Two opponents, one established political party, which is a-okay with me. Also, what happened on June? Why did my vines recline? That's actually very strange. I'm not sure what happened over there. I still control Druid, so it should be vined, but it's not entwined, so that's really strange. Also, okay, I can hear it again, the notification that I'm about to win the game. The music rather, can you hear it? I love this track. It's something that I really... Do you remember this awesome endgame track in Endless Legend, which occurred every time you reached the last era? I absolutely adored this track. I loved it, but the problem is, it often was hard to acquire because games would potentially even end before you reach the last era. And another problem was that if something changed in your empire, like winter approached, then the awesome track in Endless Legend would not be played at all. But in this game, it's much easier to hear the end game track, which I'm really happy about. It's not as cool as the Endless Legend track, but I still love it just because it makes you feel like, yeah, I'm doing it. It's just really fun. Anyway, I actually got Arakakix randomly on Asalus 2, which is nice. I really needed that. Lumer is going extinct, which I don't really care about. And another hero is available for recruitment. So, which hero do I really care about is the question. I need to think about it. I already have 2 Guardians to go along with my fleet, so maybe an Overseer would be a bit better. And I don't think I have ever showcased the technologies for you. In fact, I haven't had the opportunity to get them too frequently myself. So let's have a quick look at what they have. And they're not necessarily, you know, the most potent as governors. Sure, they give you extra science, but they're mostly for shoot related. They kind of remind me of Vodian, to be entirely honest with you. But Overseers do have access to clerical corrections, which, I mean, you know how much I like those. So I'm gonna grab an Overseer and probably... I mean, primitives are also really cool because they actually boost your food production as well as your industry production by a lot, which does make them extremely good if you need to make a fleet and whatnot. Also, this guy looks cute. I like him. No, he's really adorable in my opinion. But I think I'm gonna vote for this guy just because he would boost the Sanders party. Then again, he would be a good alternative in case the Sanders don't win, and the Sanders already have a representative, right? So it's more important to have an ecologist representative in my government, I think. So I'm gonna grab this guy, nice and easy. Now, market-wide price decrease. Alright, I don't really care, I don't have access to the marketplace. My hero leveled up, that's nice. I'm gonna give you... I mean, 0% upkeep on heroes. You don't cost a lot of upkeep at all, though. I don't think. I don't even know how much you cost, so I'm just gonna... What will I give you, actually? I don't need the extra science. Extra food would actually be useful now, since, you know, we are running the food into industry conversion, so I'm gonna give you that and I'm gonna max it out ASAP. Now, next hero that leveled up was a hero that should be a bit easier to grab and more resources on strategic values. Resources on strategic values? Wow, I really can't speak properly today, but I feel like I'm excused. I did have a pretty long break. And, oh, economy. I was expecting something more along the lines of, I don't know, something else. But economy is fine as well, I suppose. I will laugh if we end up winning it yet again. Economy is not something I really want to showcase, but oh well, if we win again, that will be it. I'll probably potentially continue playing, because economy is not something that I would have won if not for the alliance, but we'll see, we will see. For now, we have not won yet, so we can still keep going, I think. Anyway, guerrilla attack. No, I did not want to zoom in on that. Guerrilla tactics went... Oh wow, I actually got the system, that's really nice. And I can now entwine NGC, which is very nice. And I can entwine Imix, apparently. So I'm definitely gonna do that in a second. And this will actually confirm or deny the fact... confirm or deny our theory about whether or not we can assimilate. And no, indeed, this is the final confirmation. You cannot assimilate my faction if it's not already connected to your Vine network. Which is actually ironic, because in my very first Unfallen playthrough/tutorial, the one that I never actually published, it was the other way around, and I thought that it is the way that it is now. So I was like, oh yeah, I have to entwine all minor factions, otherwise I won't be able to get them. And then I realized that was not the case, and I felt quite foolish for that. And in here, it's the exact opposite, so I guess I can never win, huh? Not my fault though, it's not my fault that the devs decided to change the mechanic completely on their own, so I'm not gonna feel bad about that. Anyway, let's send the Vine ship over there, if that's the case, because I do want to have Emacs ASAP. You just say you're gonna stay in Lahat because a ship is actually approaching that, and as for Lahat, I don't really care what it has. Oh wow. Oh wow, this looks really cool, I like that. Anyway, Lahat is just gonna make some basic improvements that it needs. It cannot expand anywhere, so I'm just gonna give it the super biofuel conversion. It's not gonna make good use of it, but I suppose it can have it regardless, there's no reason not to. Same goes for this system. And there are a bunch of other systems that still need me to actually do things on them. But this video has been long enough already, and as I said, I do not feel very good indeed. So I'm gonna end it here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. It was PANCZASU, also known as the Mighty Mix Bomber, and I'll see you online.